7, 8 of the week.
You never say what episode it is, so how are we supposed to know?
I mean,
of the week.
Of the week.
We have
weekly.
We have
you
another
don't
one
say
tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I meant. You never say the episode.
Angel, what are you doing tomorrow at 6:00? You want to come on with us?
For what?
We're going to do top 10 masked wrestlers.
Well, there's only one.
Okay. But he's not coming on with us. He's probably going to say Evil Uno as his number 1. All right, can we continue? So we're going to talk about AEW and NXT. But before we get into that, we are going to recap Elias's watch-along match, which was the WrestleMania 17 TLC match between the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. Elias, take it off.
Oh man, this match was awesome, man. This was one for the mix. I was a little very little when I saw this. This is when it got me into wrestling. But man, this match started off hard hitting. My favorite spot that is always memorable, that's always replayed on WWE TV, is the spear that Edge gave. I think it was one of the Hardys. I think it was Jeff Hardy. He gave the spear to off the top of that ladder. Another one was when Lita came in and hit Spike Dudley with the chair.
Oh, then, yeah, the unprotected drop.
Yeah, and then Rhino proceeded to gore her. But yeah, Edge and Christian won that one, and it was a pretty fun match from the start. That whole WrestleMania itself was actually pretty badass. From
beginning to end, there was a lot of good stuff.
I rewatched the whole Mania. A match that a lot of people forgot about in that Mania was Raven versus Kane versus Big Show for the hardcore title. I remember when I told Angel, was like, "What?"
Yeah,
Raven and Big Show had a match in WWE. And yeah,
surprising, ain't it?
Yeah, so one of my favorite spots is in the build-up. You had Rhino gore Lita, and you had Rhino gore Spike. So the announcers made it seem like they weren't going to be there, and then all of a sudden Lita and Spike come out. Spike hits that Dudley dog off the apron through the table on the outside. That was crazy. Then he takes that steel stairs off from Lita.
The Swanton. That's probably what you were about to say.
Yeah, the Jeff Hardy Swanton. That was a crazy spot. I really liked at the end because it was the first time we had seen it when Rhino put Edge on his shoulders and carried him up. So that was pretty cool because that was the first time we got to see it. But yeah, any match involving any combination of these three is always fire.
Yeah, man, it was the second official TLC match that happened. The first one happened at I forgot what pay-per-view, but it was pretty badass. How they just kept going. They went for about almost 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Did they?
I think it was like 30, 45 minutes that they went that match.
I thought this was the shortest one, but yeah. Let's get Angel's thoughts, and I'm going to pull up the match line really quick.
I mean, there's not much else to add. I mean, it's a fantastic match. This is what really put all these groups, or I guess cemented them, really in the history books. Edge, I think a lot of people still think of Edge and Christian. They really didn't have too long of runs together. They're just so synonymous with each other because of these kind of events. So it really puts people in perspective of that time period.
And yeah, this was the shortest one. This one was only 15 and a half minutes.
Was it? I feel like it was longer.
Yeah, it was 15 minutes and 47 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that too. It seemed a lot longer to me. But
they just did so much stuff in that short amount of time.
Yeah, like these teams just because there were like so many people already, it was like a demolition derby. But yeah, Christian was supposed to pick next week's match, but he's not here, and I'm going to save y'all from having to watch a Goldberg match. So
I might take that a 2-minute match. I might watch it.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 matches this week from the same event. We'll do American Alpha versus the Revival from Takeover Dallas, and we'll do Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura from Takeover Dallas.
Yes. I
That was a pretty stacked card.
Yes, it is. That one was pretty awesome.
If the main event wasn't so lackluster, we probably would have honestly just rewatched the whole show. But I remember being really upset during the main event.
What was the main event? I forgot. Wasn't it?
Balor versus Samoa Joe, and one of them got busted open, so the referees stopped in the middle for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, and then they kept going on the match to. I remember that one.
Yeah, they just completely stopped the momentum they had. But yeah, we're gonna go into AEW and NXT. Which one do y'all want to do first?
Let's do AEW. I have more to say about NXT than AEW this week.
I do too, actually. Because I said I was going to give Brody Lee a couple more weeks, and this guy's striking out again.
What? God dang. They try to put on entertainment.
So, before we start, Elias, how many times have we seen Vince McMahon in a backstage promo say, "Look me in the eyes, pal," and then when you look him in the eyes, he's like, "Who do you think looking me in the eyes you are," or whatever?
Never. I think that's more of a they drew inspiration from the Cody Steve Carino feud from ROH when Cody actually told the story about how Steve Carino told Dusty Rhodes that I don't like you, I don't respect you. Look at me in the eye when I'm talking to you. And
so to me, it reminded me of Vince McMahon and William Regal when William Regal was basically his stooge and Jonathan Coachman as his stooge. When they were
because you're biased, clearly.
It reminded me of that, and then obviously the not wearing a tie when you're out. That's when Undertaker called out CM Punk because Vince told him to about dressing like a champ.
See, you're reading a lot into it.
I don't think I am because Elias sees it too.
No, I mean, I don't know. A majority of people don't see what you're saying.
I mean,
it's a power move. My manager says that to me. You know what I mean? That's something that is kind of a known fact in the world. You want to present yourself as a winner.
Well, why is your manager telling you to dress up when you're not at work?
No, I'm talking when we work, right? There's a right now where I work at, which is Best Buy, basically. But it's the high-end section of Best Buy. There's a looser dress code now than there used to be. So we were able to wear jeans and stuff like that. But, we're presenting, $30,000, $40,000 bids at a time sometimes. And, you don't want to be dressing up in jeans. You want to look the part, so to speak. Even though you can, there's a right way to look. And Brody Lee's coming in, and I'll admit he's changing the Dark Order kind of direction, but maybe that's the point is he wants them to start looking a certain way.
Well, we're going to get more into that because I have a lot to talk about on that. I have a lot to talk about on this stupid ranking systems that I saw too. So everything else
so the show opened.
Everything else
we'll start though. I'll start it. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. Pretty cool little opening sequence with Jake Roberts. Giving a promo, basically talking to Cody directly. And then we got a basically jobber match for the Murder Hawk Monster, or whatever they're calling him, Lance Archer. His moveset is scary.
I love the finish, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Uh-oh.
So that's all we have for AEW. Going on to NXT.
No, I agree that that specific moveset itself is pretty dangerous. It looks pretty nasty, but it's pretty legit within itself.
Yeah, this was a basic squash match, and like Angel said, the freaking finish is awesome. I love it.
That finisher looks scary to take. I always thought of the Last Ride being scary looking.
Yeah.
This finisher looks super scary also.
But think about it like this: Lance Archer has been in Japan for the past goddamn like 6 years, probably more. So his moveset is more on a strong style type. So you're not going to see him hold back on it. So
exactly. I mean, that's the thing I liked about it, and Moise, you'll be surprised later on when I say this. Someone like Lance Archer needs these kinds of matches. Squash matches are supposed to present someone that's scary or that you don't know yet. Whereas we've got Brody Lee, people have probably seen him pretty recently. We really don't need too many squash matches from him because we know what he can do. And so like this is a good way to present or bring Lance Archer into the fold. And then we got obviously a Colt Cabana match next week. So I'm gonna be it's be very interesting to see what he can do against Colt.
Yeah,
he's a bigger dude.
I'm gonna be interested in watching. I think because nothing's been announced for NXT right now, I think I'm very interested in. I'll probably be watching AEW live next week, as opposed to what I did this week. But yeah, basic squash match. Like I said last week, like I wish it was a little bit shorter, and they did make it shorter, so I was appreciative of that. And we went on to Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida.
Mm-hmm. This was actually surprising a pretty good match, and this is what I say about you need to utilize the good talent on your roster. This is a perfect example of utilizing the talent that you have. Britt Baker was awesome. Shida was awesome as well. Man, she busted her nose open.
Yeah, I think she broke her nose.
Yeah, that was legit. It looked like that looked.
And
it came off of a weird spot. I don't know if y'all remember. So Shida was doing a enziguri, basically. Kind of missed it a little bit.
Got her on the kidney because I remember Jericho saying kidney shots could take you out. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, she missed it, but she still did some damage there. But I guess maybe just the way she turned away from the shot.
Well, after the enziguri, didn't she do the running knee? So I'm thinking maybe
she was bleeding before that though. She turned around after that enziguri, and they were like, she's bleeding.
Maybe Britt fell wrong. I don't know. But after that, I thought they were going into the finisher real quick. I think if this was a live show, they might have, but because this was taped, they're like, "Hey, we'll go ahead. We'll still do the finish."
But the match itself wasn't bad at all. Like
it was really good.
It was really good.
Really good match.
Honestly, I think this match was one of the best matches of the night for AEW.
It was a pay-per-view quality match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was really good. I wouldn't obviously put it up there with the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match, but this is a presentation that people were expecting from AEW for the women's division.
Yeah, for AEW to have a good quality match like this actually shows a positive limelight on them when it comes down to the women's division, because the women's division is something that is talked about by everybody that is not up to par yet with what WWE is doing or what any other promotion is doing. Because you look at Impact. Impact's women's division is way better than AEW's division. You look at even the Women of Honor. Women of Honor put on way better matches than AEW's women right now, and even the overseas promotions as well. So for them to show this a sign that they're actually paying attention and trying to invest in their women, that's a good thing. I'm excited to see exactly what's next with Shida. They're making her look really strong. They're making her look dominating. So
Shida's fantastic.
And then we'll get into
the Falcon Arrow, how smooth it is that she does. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
We'll get into this right now. Later on, just because it was a small part, and I don't want to skip over it. Britt Baker got interviewed backstage. She's like, Hikaru Shida is one of the slowest workers, one of the sloppiest workers I've been in the ring with, dirtiest workers, and she's lucky she didn't touch my teeth. But even if she did, I would have been able to fix them. She walked away.
Can we just talk real quick? How great has Baker's turn been at this point? Like at the beginning, we were all still like, I don't know. But given all this time, it's fantastic. It's so obvious now that she should have been a heel.
Who's her fiance?
Bebe.
They draw inspiration from each other. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but like it's just because she was not supposed to be this. Obviously,
I get, and it's
worked out perfectly.
It's perfect. They need a good heel like that because honestly, apart from Nyla Rose, you really don't have depth in your women's division. Like
Yeah,
that's
what I'm going to talk about right now. So they gave it the top 5 rankings, and I'm going to go into this throughout the show because there are a couple of things that irritated me about this. So they gave it the top 5 rankings. Number 3 was Yuka Sakajawi, who we haven't seen in like 18 weeks since she busted her face. Why is she number 3? Why isn't Big Swole on there? Like when you're pushing toward the Big Swole Britt Baker program. Like even though, yeah, whatever the pandemic, but we haven't seen Yakuzawa since even longer.
Yakazaki?
Yeah, the lady whose face got kicked in the rope. Britt Baker's like first official heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that, like I don't know, that irritated me, and then some stuff in the tag team division rankings irritated me too about how the Dark Order was number 1, and that wasn't even the most irritating part. Is SCU was number 3 when we haven't seen them forever. Billy Gunn and his son should be in the rankings above them, if you ask me.
Why? They've had like one match.
More recently than Pentagon and Phoenix, and more recently than SCU, and they're 1-0.
SCU had a match on BTE because supposedly now they're
BTE doesn't count. It's not part of the company.
That's not
BTE
it. Dark is, yeah. You know, I'll say this about the rings. I wish they had started doing this sooner. This is a fantastic way to put it over. Now they're just gonna keep following up on it. I didn't see too many negatives because I'm just happy that they're doing it.
I just if you're gonna do a ranking system, do it right at least. That's my opinion, and that's one thing that I always say about this ranking system with AEW. If you're gonna do it, stay consistent, do it right, do rank it correctly. Because if you're not ranking correctly and you're just putting somebody that's had a match that hasn't had a match in
did
weeks,
I freeze?
No. Well, now you did. What is it? Okay. There we go.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Elias. Like if you haven't had a match in a month, I'm sorry, you're out of the rankings.
Like it's a work in progress, and I see what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, they just need more consistency with this specific thing, because it's
like I like the men's ranking, even though Cody can never challenge for a title, but so I don't know why he's in there. But yeah, everything other than that, I liked in the men's.
He could still be in there for. You might still have to beat him on the way to get to the title, or you still have to.
Well, why wasn't MJF in there?
MJF?
Yeah, he beat Cody.
What do you mean?
Why is MJF in the rankings?
Huh?
When was that?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. It was Excalibur. Here, let me talk about. How long ago? The last pay-per-view y'all had.
Yes, but when? That was
last month,
February.
Okay, but that's the thing. Now you're agreeing with me because we haven't seen Pentagon and Phoenix since then. We haven't seen. There we
go.
Yaku Sakajawi since then.
So you got. So here's the interesting thing. You got Jake Hager as number 1, which is understandable.
Yeah,
4-0. Yeah. 4-0. You got Chris Jericho as number 2 because he's 0-1 in singles, and I guess they're counting it by overall.
But that's fine too because he's your ex-champion. That's fine.
Yeah. Then you got Cody 3. Then you got Kenny Omega 4 and Darby Allin 5.
Why is MJF not on this list?
1-0. Maybe just he's not had as much matches.
No, he squashed Jungle Boy too.
So he's 2-0. He's had two matches.
I think him and the Butcher and the Blade.
I don't get the ranking system, to be honest with you. I don't.
I think if they keep presenting this, it's gonna help them go through with it.
Yeah, I get it.
Here's the thing. Why does it bug you so much that he's not in the rankings?
Because he should be, and he's the reason Cody can't challenge for a title anymore. So he should be above. Cody's.
So you're saying the rankings matter?
No, I'm saying they should matter.
They should, but they really
do. They don't.
They do. It's bugging you that he's not there. Where's Pac?
Why is the Lucha Brothers in there if Pac's not in there?
this is the point I make. Look, if these don't matter, why are you making such a big deal about who's in and not in?
Because they're not accurate. They're not accurate.
I wouldn't say. I would say
The college
I'm
football rankings are never right. People will get upset about that too. It's the same
I
thing.
would say
here.
I'm a hardcore fan. Like I watch every product, whatever. But I focus more on NXT than I do on AEW. And if I still know that MJF should be above Cody, and I still know that the Lucha Brothers haven't fought in a month, and Yakushaka Jowie got busted open last time he fought, then
honestly,
Lucha Brothers are fourth.
But why?
Why? They're 1-2.
They're still a dangerous team.
The Nightmare Collective's undefeated.
Yeah, but if you're actually going by the rankings, this is how it should be. It should be Dark Order because they're 5-0. It should be the Best Friends because they're 3-3. Young Bucks because they're 2-2. SCU because they're 2-3, and then it should be Lucha Brothers because they're 1-2.
Or the Nightmare Collective because they're 1-0, and they've appeared more recently.
Yeah, that too. If you're looking at the women's rankings, all right, Hikaru Shida should be number 1. Chris, actually, Rio shouldn't be number 2. If you want to be real with it, then Britt Baker and then Yuka Sakazaki. That's accurate rating. If you're going by the win-loss record,
okay, that's fine. You can say that's opinion. But what's not opinion is when people haven't been on the show for a month or two and they're still in the rankings.
We're in a weird time right now, so that affects it too.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know.
It's a thing they're gonna. I'll say this: it's a thing for them to build off of because this is the first time they've been on TV in this manner. So
they've been building off of this win-loss record since last year. So this
is the first time it's been super focused on TV with like a vignette and everything like that.
Okay,
and the record restarted.
These are typically on YouTube, during Dark or something like that, or they're sometimes not even on Dark. They're on like their own little video, like that's 3 minutes.
Okay, so, all right. So
by doing this, it's going to start putting a focus on it more. I think,
hopefully,
and it'll begin to probably make more sense. There's more to it than hey, someone's 1-0 and someone's 3-3. I mean, look at
that's not what
college
I'm complaining
football.
About. That's not what I'm complaining about. I'm saying if one team hasn't played in a month and the other team is 1-0, but they played last week, recency bias. That's a big part in rankings too, right?
Overall quality of
wins. He has a point.
Quality of wins are part of it too.
Okay. Will they be Android 6 and 7 of the Dark Order? So Nightmare Collective should be number 1.
Are you saying 6 and 7 are a strong team to beat? That's like saying Alabama beat some Louisiana.
Because 6 and 7 are part of the Dark Order. That's my point.
But 6 and 7 as a unit, not as the group.
Their build has a Dark Order.
But yeah, why is the Inner Circle like, if Hager wins, we all win?
That's the group, but not everyone in the inner circle is ranked in the singles.
Next match.
Okay, so.
Look, it's a thing for them to build off of. I like it as a segment. If you have opinions about who's ranked where, clearly it matters to you. Then
no, I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do my own ranking show. I'm gonna tag Cody and Brandy in it.
So it really does need a lot of work, to be honest with you, in order for them to actually be a correct win loss. If they're going by the win loss records, they should do it accurately. Because
more importantly, last point, then we'll go on. We don't even know who's doing the rankings. Like if they're like, it's Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, I'll be like, okay, it makes sense. But we don't even know who's doing the rankings.
Just management. The Young Bucks.
Okay. Then we got a backstage promo where Nakagawa and Kenny. This was fun.
Yeah, you also had a vignette played from featuring interviews Jake Hager and his wife and Moxley.
There was like 3 of these throughout the night, so I was gonna touch on it later.
First I thought when it kept playing, because this was the first or this was the second one at this point.
Yeah.
And so at first I was like, did my internet reset or something? Because it was very close, similar,
Yeah, because he said the same thing twice. Hager said the same thing twice. He's like, I fight to feed my family, basically. He said it twice.
And this is part of, at this point again, Unfortunately, part of them being a growing company, they haven't done too much of this on TV. So they're probably not ready to. They didn't have a segment ready that they wanted. I don't think.
Yeah, and then you
Have the best friends versus Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. Wow.
Oh, do you want to talk about the segment? The video
yes,
segment.
I
got excited for it.
Elias told me he was going to come back to it, but he didn't. So yeah, you had Nakagawa and Kenny hanging out in their trailer, and they're like, "Yo, what should we name our team? Because we need a team name." Nakagawa said.
Great.
And he's like, "How about the best friends?" And all of a sudden, Orange Cassidy walks out of the bathroom.
No. Well, not even, because then Kenny Omega says, "We already have a group called the Best Friends."
Best friends, yes.
And he goes, "Yeah, but you're an EVP, so just make it work." And he goes, "I am an EVP." And then Orange Cassidy
walks out, and all of a sudden Trent walks in, and he's like, "I heard you. I guess the name's on the line." And then I didn't catch what Kenny said at the end, but it was something funny because my boss was laughing.
It's an interesting thing. It was you saw remnants of Kenny when he was a DDT Pro.
I don't know what any of that means, but yeah.
So that was DDT Pro is an old promotion in Japan, or I think it was Japan or somewhere.
It's like
where
comedy wrestling.
Comedy wrestling. So it's like, so if you remember Kenny Omega wrestling like a 9-year-old kid, that was part of DDT Pro.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of intergender matches too and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was comedy based wrestling, so it's a lot of funny things that happen. I think Joey Ryan held the DDT Pro title, where it kind of was like on a 24/7 rule basis that he lost the title like 15 times within a whole spread of weeks that he was recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting.
So yeah, done this match. Really fun match. My favorite spot was the Nakazawa doing the oil and Trent just slapping him to no effect. And then the Mongolian rail or whatever Jericho called it, which was like the bulldog to the balls. That had me laughing.
I was gonna say we need to talk about Jericho and commentary at some point too.
Oh yeah, I want to wrap up with that. Yeah. Or finishing up.
Continue what you were talking about.
Yeah, so Jericho just making all these funny ass comments, and we'll probably do a best of at the end of the show of his lines. Then there was this part where Nakazawa took off his man thong and like tried to put it in Trent's face and did, but then Kenny was like, "Nah, put it in my face." Well, he wasn't really like, "Nah, put it in my face." Trent ducked and it went into Kenny's face. And yeah, great match with the best friends picking up the win. This is basically what we said yesterday. We were like, Nakazawa's there to take the pin.
Oh yeah, he's there to take the pin, 100%. I don't know if this match bothered me. Actually, I didn't really like it.
I thought this was my favorite match of the night.
Mine was
AEW.
Mine was between the women's match and the Cody match, but this match. You know, before when we talked about,
Wait, match of the night or match of AEW?
AEW.
Oh, okay.
Match of the night definitely goes to that ladder match. But as this match went on, I just kept thinking, this guy is our top, tag champ. He's probably one of the biggest forces in the, we'll say, company for sure. In the industry.
In the industry.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I'm safe saying that, but. And I know this is a side of him that he has, but I don't care to see it if he's a champion. And he also walked in with his AAA championship.
And isn't he the tag team champion too?
And he's a tag champion also. I wonder if they just didn't want to present him with an AEW championship for a match like this, or if it's just, hey, he just happened to have that belt lying around.
Would you be more? If it was Matt Jackson, would you be happier with it?
Yes. If this was someone other than Kenny, I think I might be okay with it.
I think Goldust could have done
it. Here's what I say that I liked about the match from a storyline perspective. Trent looked really pissed off that Kenny was taking this as a joke, almost kind of continuing that storyline. I think eventually Trent's gonna break away from the best friends to a degree and go into a nice singles run here.
Kind of like
I would love to see that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the way that they're building that story kind of subtly that makes me think that.
Yeah, but
Um,
if they do that, they're gonna have to completely break them away from the best friends, because if they still keep them together, kind of like the New Day kind of style, it won't work for him, because he's showing a lot of more
he's,
aggression in
he's
the ring.
he's really good. He is
He
really good.
he
So
really is. Like
I think he has a chance to do some. He's definitely upper mid Carter. I don't know if I'd put him to the title all the way, but
He's definitely TNT title.
So
mid card
anyway, that's the one thing I liked in this match was seeing that story kind of evolve. Um,
progress.
and if anything, maybe that's why they're okay with Omega having some comedy to kind of play off of.
Yeah,
But
but
as the match, I didn't like it. I don't like seeing a man, especially in the times we're in right now, grab his underwear, stick it in another man's face.
so I and this is something that I kind of dislike about what they're doing with Kenny Omega right now. Kenny Omega came in, has the most wanted wrestler in the industry. Everybody wanted him. Impact wanted him. Ring of Honor wanted him. New Japan wanted to keep him. WWE even offered him a 7-digit deal, 6-digit deal, 7-digit deal that he turned down just to become like a EVP. I feel they're not using Kenny Omega to his full potential. And that's what kind of bothers me about this whole thing, because he's great. If they just let him be him, I mean, I understand you're trying to put your stars over, but if you basically came in with he was going to be the top star of your company, you're not doing a good job at keeping him as the top star of your company, because I mean, let's be honest, his win record isn't that great right now, since last year neither.
Yeah,
So
and that's his. I think that was his creative decision. I don't agree with it, but at the same time, we started off with Jericho. We have Moxley being crazy good. 3-4 years in as a company, maybe that's when you start having Omega take over. He'll be hitting
yeah,
towards the end of his prime, I would say, at
but
that point.
yeah, but that's the scary part. Like, if you're putting him at the end of his prime, the chances of him getting injured more go up as he gets older. So you would capitalize off of having him. Like, when he came in, he was hot. It was the best thing that you had. So if you would have capitalized on that from the get go, you would have had more. It would have been a better. You would have had a better chance of actually doing something more with him than you are right now. So it's kind of, he's been on a roller coaster ride. Whether it's his creative decision or not, it affected his stock, because if he decides to leave one day, people are gonna be like, well, what have you done that's worth giving you a 7-digit deal, or what have you done that in the past 5 years that has been worth
He's not leaving. He's EVP.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted, if I mean, shit, Shane had a big spot in WWE and he decided to leave, or you had people that had big spots in the company that decided to leave as well. So, there's no telling, 3-4 years from now, or 3 years that he has left on his contract, what he decides to do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know. It was definitely a filler match to a degree, but I'm surprised y'all liked it. And I wasn't too into it.
I like the comedy portion of it. It's not bad, but it still ties into like my personal feelings on Kenny Omega, because before Kenny Omega started with AEW, I followed Kenny Omega. I enjoyed his matches with Okada, and enjoyed the matches that he had with Cody and all that stuff before they started AEW. So, all right. So after that, moving on to the next segment, which was Brody Lee video airs. This is one that makes me cringe. Now, I don't like it. I just it like, I understand creative freedom, but this is just like, it's getting cringy. Like, it's a bad, like we stated a couple of days ago, it's a bad SNL skit. Like like I understand what he's trying to do, but at the same time, it's like I'm over it. I'm over the gimmick already. I'd rather just see him in the ring.
Watch it for what it is. Don't watch it for what you want it to be compared to.
Is that your rebuttal?
I mean, I can't change your mind about it. If y'all feel If y'all think of Vince McMahon 24/7, that's on you.
No, but I mean, anybody that's not an AEW mark or a AEW super fan will understand where we're coming from. Like, that's direct shots at the main boss, Vince McMahon. You're trying to emulate something.
That's anyone who just is in this stuff all the time.
Anyone who follows wrestling all around, not just AEW, not just WWE, not just
There's a lot of people who don't know. There's you look at events that happen like Royal Rumble. People didn't know Edge was coming back, which astonished me because we all knew. But there's stuff like that happens, and you've got people who aren't as invested to hearing the backstage stuff as you think. I don't think.
I think AEW appeals more to the hardcore fans, and I think they know.
They know, but they just let it give it a pass because anything that's a shot at WWE is cool.
It's their program. They said from the beginning, we're going to do it what we want, what we think we should
what
do.
The
we're
crowd wants,
and not think about anything else. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. The point of this isn't to take away from other companies. It's to present a different alternative, like they say.
But yeah, WWE shots come from everywhere in AEW. But okay, continue.
Whether you think they're shots or not that Brody Lee's doing as a character, he is. I will say the one thing, he is changing the Dark Order, which I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not sold on it. If you take my personal feelings aside from like his gimmick, what he's doing, I don't like the direction he's taking the Dark Order.
I wonder. I really am interested because obviously Evil Uno and Stu Grayson aren't at the filming. I wish they were because I think we need that dynamic presented because we need to understand why was Evil Uno. He was kind of the leader to a degree, talking about the Exalted One the whole time. Why is this guy trying to present the group one way?
Oh, because Evil Uno is Eric Rowan's brother-in-law, and Eric Rowan and Harper work together in WWE. That's probably what they'll make it out to be.
What I'm saying is why is Evil Uno presenting one way? Coming out and then he's like the Exalted One is here. I wonder how much the Exalted One let Evil Uno and Stu Grayson in on the plans for building up this group to a degree. But it's a storyline that's just we're not going to get to see until this whole pandemic is over. I think.
I'm not.
I think they kind of went the Evil Uno route realistically because they didn't know who they wanted to be the Exalted One.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about right now from a storyline standpoint because obviously we know that now.
But I was being sold. But I was being sold more on the Dark Order when Evil Uno was like teasing the Exalted One.
You wanted Austin Aries, yeah.
No, I was actually getting invested in it because Dark Order's becoming a cult. I expected it to be some kind of cult, not turn it into some kind of professional or some kind of like semi-corporate shit that they're turning it into now. Like that.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder how much Evil Uno knew of what the Exalted One's plans were, or if maybe this is a whole swerve and he's doing all this, and then eventually we get some kind of turn back, or a payoff to it. It hurts not having Evil Uno and Stu Grayson there from a storyline standpoint.
It's just it does, and it's just it. I mean, to be honest with you, the Dark Order is not. It's going back to the same thing. It's to me the relevance of them is going back to when they first started, and that's it.
It's
apart
growing for me. It's not really going back to where it started. Remember where it started. Think about that again. This is becoming a bigger storyline in the company.
I don't know. All right. So
as a squash match, though, it's
yeah.
I like Lee Johnson. Do y'all know about this guy, Lee Johnson?
No.
He's a former. I think he trains also with the Nightmare Family, but he's a former Marine, I think, or Navy guy. He's actually really really cool. He does some cool stuff. It sucks he didn't get any offense in here. Rightfully so, but I like Lee Johnson.
And it was apart from that, before the match happened, Matt Hardy runs down every member of the Inner Circle before challenging Chris Jericho to come to his compound and face him in Elite Deletion. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited to see Elite Deletion, but at the same time, it's kind of awkward because we just had this great cinematic stuff that happened with WWE with the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse, and then it's kind of ironic that all of a sudden AEW is like, all right, let's have an Elite
All of a
Deletion
sudden,
match.
all of us. He's the first one
Actually,
to put it
Jeremy
into the
Borash.
prime, to put it into like prime time type TV.
I
Jeremy
understand
Borash.
I understand
Who?
that, but Jeremy
Jeremy
Borash,
Borash, who produced it, who Matt Hardy said it was all his
Oh,
stuff.
the
I just
producer.
gave my ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's you know what I'm saying. He's the creator who helped put that vision.
okay, I understand
there.
that.
So,
I
you know,
understand that, but
and
That's fine. I'm
I'm
excited
not
to see
saying-
it because everything's been good so far. So I'm
I'm-
excited to see it because
I'm
Yeah.
super excited to see it. But
yeah, but
they have
I'm
come out
just
and
saying-
said they're not sure that they're going to do it.
I'm just saying, like, it's kind of ironic that, like, not saying that of the match itself. I'm saying that all of a sudden they're like, all right, we're gonna do it.
This isn't.
but
This is
was
not.
recorded.
This is not. This is pre-recorded
Mania
from a
was
long time ago.
pre-recorded. Everything was pre-recorded. Remember?
Yeah, this was recorded over a week and a half ago. If at work,
And nothing about Mania had leaked out, so we
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
and also, you really think him saying, "Hey, I want more creative freedom," this wasn't an idea he wants to keep pushing? And that the
I'm not
Young
mad at
Bucks
it.
and
I'm not
Omega-
mad at it. I just say it's kind of ironic. It's not. I'm not shitting on the idea. It's a good thing.
Your tone says you are.
I'm,
Like,
I'm,
oh, it's
I'm
kind of
just saying-
ironic that all of a sudden they want to do that. This has been in the works for a long time. If they were going to do it, this has been in the works for a long time. Moyes agrees with me because he said
yeah.
something too.
No,
You're trying to say one thing and come back around from it. Now that we put it in your face.
It's kind of no, but it is ironic. I mean, it is ironic that all of a sudden, like,
Okay, but
I'll say this.
wait.
How ironic is it that Matt Hardy left and then all of a sudden they want to do that stuff?
Okay, no, I'll sub both of you up. How ironic is it that Impact just did the Dead Realm with Rosemary, Havoc, and Shu Young?
I don't know. Nobody watches that.
no, you don't watch it. That's the thing.
Nobody watches it.
No,
yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it can go all three ways. Who cares?
yeah,
I'm happy to see it. Yes, it's ironic, but not in a dick way, what you're trying to say. Yeah, okay.
There was news that came out though that they're not positive they're going to do it.
All right,
because
guys.
they probably can't do it the way they want.
all right, cool. All right,
We're at almost an hour of AEW talk alone.
All right, this is episode 1. We'll record NXT after this.
Are we really doing this?
No, we're not. We're just gonna go.
Next was Cody versus Shawn Spears for the tournament.
I think
this is a rematch of All Out.
I think this was a pretty good match given the circumstances. Shawn Spears, it wasn't fantastic. It was good.
I think both of y'all are wrong.
But
oh, God.
But
You
yeah,
didn't
Shawn
like it.
Spears kicked out of 2 consecutive crossroads. That was the highlight of the match to me.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, why is he kicking out of 2 crossroads? Second of all, why am I watching a WWE Superstars main event on the main event of AEW?
Oh my God.
Third of all,
I would.
Third of all, why am I supposed to care about Shawn Spears? Fourth of all, like, they made Shawn Spears look like an even bigger joke earlier in the night when he's telling Nakagawa, I'm keeping my eyes on you because he needs a partner. So it's making me think that he already assumes he's going to lose this match because he's already more worried about his tag team partner. Sixth of all, I don't know where we are, but freaking, I actually, the thing that irritated me the most about this match is the best thing about the match was the commentary. Nothing in the match appealed to me. But that's my opinion.
I can't fault you for your opinion, but you're wrong.
How did Cody start using the Figure 4?
He used it a couple weeks ago. Remember, because they said blood and guts, you have to make them tap or give up, quit.
Yeah, he used it before then too. He's been using that move for a while. He actually did this same kind of finish to someone before.
That's interesting. That I mean, apart from the
I've,
two,
No, Elias, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about it where like blood and guts, there's no pinfalls. You just
oh yeah,
have
it's
to.
great submission. Yeah, I
give
get it.
up. You have to give up. I mean, and it's a good move to put over. It's not like it shouldn't have ever become a small submission move. I don't think.
Yeah, the Miz should have never got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big time deal.
The Miz has won actual matches with the figure four though, so that's.
Talk about what we're talking about now. I was just giving an example.
No, but
it was a good match.
it was a good match. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah, and then real quick, since Moise wants to move on, even though he's wrong about this match, let's talk about a little bit about the commentary because you mentioned that.
Dude, Jericho
is so good at everything he does. It feels like even Shivani was just like astounded by how much wrestling knowledge he has. There's stuff he's talking about that I was just like, I don't know anything about this.
A figure of Chris Jericho that has his ass spread open and just give it to you?
No, I agree.
I'm not the only one saying this. This is worldwide. People are saying this guy's fantastic at all this stuff.
I'm playing. No,
no, you're not. This started with Brody Lee, and you're continuing it. So,
but I feel like when it comes down to AEW, you always try to find the bright side and shit. So,
no, I think the highlight.
I think the announcement was trash.
Okay, the announcement was great. A couple of my favorite lines were, Tony Schiavone, I've been announcing for a couple of years now. You've been announcing for 115 more.
Schiavo.
Yeah, that was great.
Right name.
That was great. I like everything during the Nakagawa match. Like, if you want to rewatch that tag match, just watch it for the commentary.
Close your eyes.
When he pulled out his thong, Jericho was like, "I would have just gave up as soon as I saw it."
I wonder how much of DDT Pro he's ever seen because he was astounded by the comedy in this match. He was just having so much fun. It sounded like.
I think he's seen DDT Pro. I think he was just playing it perfectly. As
put over Britt Baker really hardcore too.
When Sheeta came out, he said, "She's from where? Japan? I've been there. It's garbage." Or what did he say? It's trash.
It's trash. Yeah,
it's trash. Jericho, I hope they do this again next week because I would.
It'd be fun. Or actually next week. It'd be fun next week if they just do Cody and Jericho next week
together.
Wow. I mean, you still need someone there. You need someone there to talk. Well, Jericho does a great job talking moves. You need someone for play-by-play because they'd both be color guys.
Yeah. Well, then you have the three-man group with the heel commentator. Then you'll have the color commentator. Then you'll have the play-by-play. So that's not bad at all.
There was parts of this night where Jericho almost forgot he was a heel and then had to return back to it somehow because he was just having so much fun doing it. I think.
But that's how good he. I mean, he's been in the industry for over 20-something years. So
the line about Cody Rhodes' mom had to come in. So you better watch out. That was great too.
That was funny.
He was good. He was really good. So if you didn't watch the show, watch it for that. Also.
All right. So that was AEW in a nutshell. Went a 45 minutes almost. But all right, let's get into NXT. At the actual two main matches that happened that were basically the highlight of NXT. The ladder match, the women's ladder match for the No One Contendership, which none of us got right in that prediction. And then it was the one-on-one.
Well, you know who didn't get it right in that 6-woman ladder match? Uncle Dave, because Io Shirai is supposed to be leaving, quote unquote. But yeah.
They might be doing this just to make her happy for a little bit. Think about it. They're putting her up against Charlotte. She's going to lose. She's an easy target at that point.
I think she puts her on the hell of a match and gets called up.
I think that she's sticking with WWE.
They try putting people on TV all the time before they leave. Look at Rusev.
We don't know.
We don't know that Rusev's leaving.
We don't know that Io Shirai is, but I'm saying this is.
You're making it seem like
something that's happened before.
Leaving when
Matt Hardy's the only example you have.
And Matt Hardy actually said that he was going to let his contract run out. So
yeah,
that's the point.
What's your argument if the Revival resigns? then everyone looks stupid.
They've turned down too much money, I think, to re-sign.
But like it's just like what I'm saying is Uncle David's wrong sometimes. Listen to Uncle Moise.
You look like an uncle with that mustache.
But yeah, I enjoyed this ladder match a lot.
So the ladder match itself was actually pretty badass. The spots, my favorite spot was how Tegan Knox and Mia Yim chokeslam powerbomb combo on Raquel Gonzalez through the table, taking out Dakota Kai's main person.
What? Yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah. Go ahead.
So and then it looks like Chelsea Green did get injured, or sold the injury pretty well. And then Robert Stone was climbing up the ladder, try to help her, and then somebody dropped them off the top of the ladder, both of them. That was a pretty badass spot, and how Chelsea sold it when she hit the ropes. That was pretty cool. And yes, Io Shirai won.
What I really liked about this match is like at the end, everyone was down from like a high spot. Like Mia Yim and Reina were down because of that power bomb through the ladder. What's it called? Two girls fell off the ladder going to the outside. Robert Stone and Chelsea Green got pushed off the ladder to the inside. Like everyone had a reason to be down when Io Shirai climbed and won the ladder or won match.
Everybody performed to the best, and I think this match I think this match actually can be considered as one of the top match of the year's candidates. To be honest with you,
Yeah, man. I think if they had a crowd,
this would have blown the house out. Like honestly, well, all the high spots that they did, and all everything that happened, the progression of the match, how it started, how it went. I completely enjoyed this match from top to bottom. And congrats to Io Shirai. I liked it. I liked that the surprise factor, because everybody was hoping that Dakota Kai was going to win or that Candice LeRae was going to win. Even Chelsea Green, as much as they hyped her up, it was a surprise factor that Io Shirai won.
Yeah, it's kind of like how everyone was like, "Oh, Io Shirai is leaving," and then she wins this match.
That doesn't say she's not.
I think Angel.
She's keen on going to New Japan.
She's not going.
They don't have a women's division in New Japan.
Okay, Stardom. It's owned by New Japan. There, you happy?
Angel just doesn't want her in NXT anymore. That's why.
Yeah, because Angel's hoping AEW.
I don't care.
Because she would be the biggest thing in the AEW women's division.
I'll have you know. We have Nagasaki.
So the best
y'all have a dentist. Yes, I agree.
The best part of NXT this week was actually the commentary about Mauro Ranallo.
I loved the one man boot. That was so cool.
That was awesome. I think Mauro on commentary beats anybody.
I think this was the best night of wrestling announcing we've had in a long time, like all around.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Malcolm Bivens actually gave the tag team a name. He called them the Indu Sure.
That means the Indian Lion, the Indian Lions.
Okay, cool. Indian Lions.
They got
Cher means lion. Yeah. Another thing, Cher is also the title of Jinder Mahal's entrance music.
Oh,
nice.
When Jinder comes back and the Bollywood boys try to hype him up, and then these two guys come out.
I could see that. I could actually see both of them with him. I that would be a nice trio to come to make it to a faction. And they actually got a nice showcase win over Everrise.
I thought it went kind of long. Who the hell is Everrise? I felt it went kind of long.
I don't know.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, like they got a name and an entrance, and I was like, who are these losers? And I just wish it was a little bit shorter.
Yeah,
but I feel like more. That, and then I feel like Rinku and Shorov need their ring time.
Show off a little bit.
Yeah, like they need all their in-ring time they can get. And then it was announced that next week we will get a cruiserweight title tournament to crown an interim champion.
Yeah,
And
because the current champion is actually stuck in the UK, so he can't defend it. So they're gonna have the tournament to crown an interim, which is gonna be interesting because I think that having once everything clears up and people are able to travel and get the shows back rolling, it's gonna be a nice showdown between the interim and Jordan Devlin.
then
Isn't it Devlin? Yeah, they had a chance to take it off him, but I guess they just didn't know, obviously, what was going to happen.
well, Devlin had just won it and went in Houston, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they're gonna in the following week they'll figure out what they're doing with the tag title.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then we had obviously Finn Balor had talked about Walter. I think it was earlier, but
Yeah,
that was,
they had
it's good to see that they
yeah,
still want to put that match on.
So he did challenge.
That's gonna be an interesting match.
Yeah, NXT UK canceled their next 2 tapings though, or their next 2 episodes are just gonna be recaps. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna.
I would say it's just good to keep it in the mind of people, if nothing else.
So
and then we had the final match.
This match, I love this match from start to ending.
Yeah, Angel said a lot of people crapped on it. I did go on Twitter. I looked at it. It seemed like it was 75-25, 25% of the people crapping on it. But I can also say that was the AEW audience at that point,
Yeah.
Because they decided to watch WWE superstars instead of a main event. But
so this match from the start was heavy hitting. They didn't hold back on each other at all. There was a spot where Johnny Gargano basically attacked every injury that Ciampa has had, from his leg to his arm to even to his neck injury.
Before the match, we saw Candice give Johnny a packet, like a bag, and so we'll get to what it was in that bag too.
Yeah. So, this match itself was freaking. It was all around like, shoot.
This okay. I'll just say real quick because I know you're gonna hype it up. Maybe it's because obviously I'd never watched NXT for a long time, so I don't have that backstory of these two to a big degree. The biggest thing I have of them was when they partnered as DIY for that weird match, and then there was the turn. So
you never watched their feud?
I have never. I didn't watch it back then.
Okay,
I didn't care. So
let me
I know I know for a fact. Something like Edge Orton, where they were rated RKO and stuff like that. I kind of remembered that. So that match maybe played a little bit better to me, even though I didn't like it as much either. But this for sure, I think me not having that backstory made me not care maybe. And there was a lot of, it seemed like there was a lot of edits, or there was a lot of changing the camera.
It was too cinematic.
It threw me off.
Yeah.
And so I'll say, as a performance, I'm just gonna get my stuff out the way. That way y'all can hype it up. But as a performance, these guys put on what they felt was a good show, but it just didn't connect with me. Maybe that's the way I should phrase it.
So just to give you a little backstory of this, this started when they were in their Cruiserweight Classic, when they had that match between each other. Then
these guys are real life roommates with their wives.
Yeah. So this turned into them forming DIY and then winning the tag team titles. Then when they lost it against AOP, Ciampa turned on Gargano, and then that led to about a series of 3 matches.
So when he turned, he tore his ACL in that process, and so we had to wait a year for this feud to actually kick off, which kept the fans even more bloodthirsty for it.
This was how long ago? 4 years?
Yeah, it starts about
5 years ago.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago. So the trilogy of these matches actually turns out to be about 5. These matches were 5-6 star rating.
And
matches.
I think 2 of them won PWI Match of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then Ciampa got injured with his neck injury and had to relinquish the title. And that's when Gargano went on his solo run. And then when he actually won the title from Adam Cole, that's when Ciampa had came out and I guess made amends with him, and they had like a big family moment at the end of the pay-per-view of Takeover. And then that's what led to the reunion once Ciampa came back, and that's what led to the turn again. So this match itself, man, uh, there's a lot of spots that I can call on this one, like the super kick, the super kick on top of the trailer, the super kick that where Champa just fell down, and then the another spot was when Gargano was going to try to put Champa through the table, but then reversed it, and Champa put Gargano through the table. That was another cool spot. The the spot with the chair where Gargano set up the chair on the corner, and then he was going to throw Ciampa into it, and then Ciampa reversed it and sent Gargano to
And it
the
was a
chair.
replay of that moment at Takeover. Yeah. So it was great storytelling. And that's why, like, I feel like a lot of the quote unquote marks that didn't like know the whole story was like it told the story because there were so many, like every big moment from their past 3 matches kind of happened in this match.
Yeah. Then
And
it led to Candice LeRae walking in after they came back in. Candice LeRae came in and basically went basically was like, are you happy? Like
I
telling
hate my
Gargano,
husband.
I
Yeah.
hate my husband. Then she's like, finish it, and then she's like, wait, I'll finish it. Kicked Gargano in the balls, and then walked off. And then Champa had I guess a moment of
Humanity.
humanity, and that's when Candice LeRae came in and kicked them in the balls, and Gargano took out the cup that was probably in the bag that Candice LeRae had got him, and then did Ciampa's own finisher on top of the exposed wood on the ring, and won the match that way. The most interesting part about it, and this happened afterwards, which is a tease that I kind of marked out. I can actually say I marked out for this, but has LeRae and Gargano were walking to the car. There was a nice badass Dodge Charger sitting next to them, and inside they tease Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux, and they're looking at them.
I just so I marked out too, and then I'm just over here thinking, so are they gonna make Killer Cross and Scarlet the faces, even though their promos were so heelish?
Foolish.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with this.
Or are they gonna try to push Gargano and LeRae as the face couple that did kind of like a semi heel face, where they're like we did it for the greater good, and then Killer Cross and Scarlet are gonna come out and be like, we've been keeping an eye on y'all on the stuff that y'all did, and they're gonna somehow relate it to what's going on.
I just think Tommaso Ciampa's gonna get kidnapped next. Honestly,
No. So I read this. So supposedly the kidnapping stuff is
El Hijo de Fantasma.
correct.
Yes.
So why would Ciampa be
No,
kidnapped?
I'm just I was being a smart
Fantasy
ass.
booking.
Oh,
I was being a smart ass. Like,
I was getting
Killer
confused.
Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux kidnap him, and
Because
Gargano's
I think
like, oh my
I think-
god, that's my friend. Only I can mess with him.
we're getting what this guy said.
What?
A Latino world order.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're
Which
getting,
is
and it's
awesome.
it's based off a terrorist group, which is really
I
scary.
read that. That's so weird. It freaking anyway.
They're gonna be the.
Like, did you read the thing? Like, they're like, the girls were like, or the people that were kidnapped were like sexually humiliated and stuff.
Bro,
like,
it's so weird. What does that have to do with wrestling? I'm like, this seems kind of excessive. But anyway,
I feel like Triple H and Shawn Michaels were just like, "Yo, X-Pac,
that sounds fun.
You got an idea, X-Pac? This seems like an X-Pac idea.
Yeah,
This seems like
it's
something he'd do.
I just before we move on to that part of it. Just this match, since this is the conclusion.
Yeah,
this is supposed to be this is done. Yeah, obviously they'll probably fall back to it at some point. But do you think someone's moving shows at all? Because y'all are saying the way y'all are presenting it, the way y'all are saying it is y'all think there'll be a feud with Killer Cross, Scarlet Bordeaux, and
Gargano
which means
LeRae.
which means Ciampa is the one who's leaving, if that's what they're doing.
I think something's going to lead to Killer Cross taking Ciampa or holding him hostage or something. And
you're saying Ciampa's still staying on NXT?
Yeah, and I feel like Gargano's got to have to save him.
Either that or Gargano
after that match,
or I mean, they still had this. Like if you notice at the end of the match, they had a sign of humanity from Ciampa, so that relationship is still technically there. They just had to get this whole thing off and running. I think they might actually put Ciampa on either Raw or SmackDown. That's my guess.
If they do that, it's going to feel very similar to Edge Orton, because Edge had that same kind of thing at the end of their match. Well, he had that kind of moment of humility, saying, "You thinking how sorry," and if they were to do a connection again at the end of that, and then Ciampa Gargano have it, it's just too similar. So it'd be weird to see that.
I don't know. I just feel like Killer Cross would be awesome in like a hostage role, like he's holding Tommaso hostage.
I don't know. I just maybe we're just building it up before that someone's leaving.
Or you have Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux come out as like quote unquote faces, and they're like, "Yo, we want a match, because of what you did to Ciampa, blah blah."
Yeah,
Gargano and Candice, chicken crap heels, are like, "No, we're not going to face y'all, blah blah. Work around it." And then you do the double switch where you're like, "Well, you don't want to face us? Well, I got Tommaso and his baby." And then Candice is like, Candice is like, "I'm the godmother," and then Johnny's like, "I'm the godfather," and then boom, that's how the match starts. And then you got Vin Diesel, driving by in his Dodge Charger, and
you really want Diesel to be in wrestling, huh?
No, but I think that's how you could do a double turn. Like introduce Scarlett and Killer Cross as a face, because Scarlett's gonna get a pop no matter what, because he's hot as hell.
I think where they're heading towards this is that whenever this next episode airs, or whenever they put Gargano and LeRae on TV, they're gonna be gloating about defeating and getting rid of Ciampa. And then what's gonna happen is that Killer Cross and Scarlett are gonna come out and be like, how. I guess they're going to play towards the gimmick that Killer Cross has been teasing. So I think they're going to work something in there to make that specific thing work. I think the heel turn on Candice LeRae was unexpected by people, because nobody expected Candice LeRae.
But that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Killer Cross and Scarlett are going to get a pop. Scarlett's hot as hell. Scarlett's not going to want to boo her, and she can wrestle. But
there's no crowd.
Audience.
Yeah, damn. That just kills my whole idea of the hostage situation.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So,
it's weird. I thought one of them would be leaving, and
there's no telling exactly what's going to happen.
I like to hold the family hostage. Like, yo, you don't want to face us? I know you hate this dude, but do you hate his baby? Because we kidnapped her. And then
that doesn't.
You want to put that on TV?
That doesn't fit into Killer Cross's character.
Because it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world for the baby. But no, you have a Hispanic group based off terrorist attacks. You can do a kidnapping
of a baby.
You don't really take the baby. They don't really take the baby. They say they did.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird. I don't think that's you're pushing your luck there, Moise. I think.
Like, hey Gargano, we've got Tommaso Whitney and the whole Whitney family, and put the real names into it. And Gargano's like, I don't care about
real names.
Yeah, and Gargano's like, I don't care about Tommaso, and you're like, yeah, but do you care about little Sally or whatever the girl's name is? And Gargano's like, hey, that's my goddaughter. You back off. And he's like,
yeah, I don't think that's
we'll back happen. Off. They had Bray Wyatt break into the midget's house with the baby. They can do the same thing.
That's gonna happen.
All right, fine. I'm just saying I have a really good batting percentage on my crazy.
We're going
predictions,
off on a
except for
tangent
Vin
at this
Diesel.
point.
Except for Vin Diesel, I have a crazy good batting percentage.
I don't think so. I think Elias and I have the the better one.
Yeah, but that's because I did some creative stuff that WWE can end up copying anyways.
Uh,
And
so interesting fact about I forgot about this, and damn, it just slipped my mind already.
Okay, so
okay,
that's
so we'll be
Weekly
on
Wrestling Heat.
tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow.
Moise and I will be doing a live watch along to the Big Show.
Oh, this is really happening?
Are you down? It's live right now.
I got all day Saturday. Yeah, I guess we can. Yeah.
solid half a viewer.
This is gonna be funny. But yeah, no. Either way, we'll be back tomorrow on the Weekly Wrestling Heat podcast.
Anyway, you coming on tomorrow? We're doing top 10 masked wrestlers.
Oh man, I have to do a lot of research.
You've got 12. You got 18 hours.
18 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back at 6:00 tomorrow.
I'll watch.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
You watch and leave us comments about how you think Evil Uno should be number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
And I'm telling y'all right now, my list is gonna get ridiculed like no other because I got so many weird ass gimmicks on there.
Mine is actually more Mexican based.
I got a lot of Hispanics on mine too,
and Japan based as well. So
yeah, I got a lot of that too, but I got a lot of weird gimmicks on mine too.
So no. Either way, tomorrow join us back here at Weekly Wrestling Heat. As we bring our boy Matt back. For the top 10 masked wrestlers, in the industry. So
and go follow us on Twitter at
Twitter weekly RSG.
Dude, just make it Weekly Wrestling Heat. There's not a Twitter with that handle.
I can't. It exceeds 15 characters.
Okay, so do Weekly Wrestling
or Wrestling Heat.
It's already taken.
What about Wrestling Heat or Weekly Heat?
It's already taken.
WW Heat.
Yeah, do that instead. There's so many ways. You got the weirdest name possible. This guy did Weekly WS Heat W or whatever he did.
Weekly WSG Heat. It's an acronym for wrestling.
No, it's not. There's an L in there. But yeah,
anyways,
we're gonna change it to something that you guys can actually remember.
We'll fix that. Subscribe also.
So, subscribe also to our Weekly Wrestling Heat YouTube channel.
I thought we were just gonna take the ringside hookah or the whatever hookah.
Wrong group.
Sorry, I thought we were gonna take the hookah wrestling and just convert it.
We are, but for now, I gotta fix some stuff on the back end dealing with Google, and fix that once I do.
Cool. And then I'm gonna go. I'll be here tomorrow at 6:00 as well, to talk about masked wrestlers.
Yeah, so join us tomorrow at 6:00 as we go and actually cover top 10 masked wrestlers, and follow us on our Facebook page at Weekly Wrestling Heat. Also, in the coming weeks, we'll be converting Hookah Wrestling Podcast into Weekly Wrestling Heat on our official YouTube channel, and then we'll be going from there.
And stay away from Brody Lee promo because you'll go crazy.
Also follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. That'll also be changing to Weekly Wrestling Heat. We'll be changing that pretty soon as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else we got before we sign off?
Nope.
All good.
All right, guys. So from Weekly Wrestling Heat, we are out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.